What's up guys and welcome back to my channel. I'm Anik, I'm a classical pianist and I am working on the Chopin Ballades right now, as you might know. As many people asked me how to actually play and practice the first cadenza, I thought I am going to do a little practice with me series with a couple of these very virtuoso, super difficult parts inside of the Chopin Ballades. Today with the beginning of the coda of the very first ballad. Before we start, I'm excited to announce my concert in London. It's going to be my debut at the Britain Theatre. I'm super excited for that. On 26th January 2025, I'm looking forward to play all Chopin tunes there. Tickets and information in the link in the description box. But now, let's play some ballade. I'm going to concentrate only on 4 measures in this video. These measures are repeated, meaning you're going to cover 8 measures in total. But I just want to say we are just going to concentrate on this one specific part and technique to make sure that you hopefully understand the basics of the technique and how to practice it. Now, as I said, this is going to be kind of a play along video, so you can try to play along with me together. I'm going to do all the exercises and I try to do it as slow as possible, but I know that what is slow to me might be super fast for other people and the other way around. You can always stop the video and try to copy the exercise in a tempo that feels comfortable to you. The most important thing is always that you play every single note correctly, meaning if you can't keep up with the tempo by playing every single note perfectly in time and in the right order, you should consider playing it slower. For the upcoming exercises, we are not going to use any pedal, so please keep your feet off the pedal. I know exactly what you're doing there. Because we want to really concentrate on the arm movements and get them as clean as possible into the muscle memory, so we don't want to blur the sound with too much pedal here. Alright, as I already mentioned, we are going to do a lot of slow training and we'll start with single hands training. The left hand is super important and that's the hand that is going to control everything later. So your right hand can just play freely and relaxed on top of it. Meaning we are starting with the left hand, super slow. Make sure you're preparing every single note before you push down the keys, meaning you're already on the keys and then you push it down. You don't fall into the keys or rush into whatever, like be there and push down. That's important. Alright, now we are dealing with big jumps in the left hand. Without the right hand, this alone is already pretty difficult. Means we have to make sure that we are jumping the right way. And every time we are playing jumps, you can think in 2 directions. Either you're thinking downwards, so you're thinking yampa, yampa, or you're thinking yampa, yampa. So upwards. Depending on what you're thinking right now, it's always good to think the opposite direction from time to time. And this is what we're going to try now. Again, always make sure that you are prepared on the keys. Like, don't jump into the keys. Prepare your hand on the key before you touch it down. The problem of jumping into the key is always that, first of all, you're losing a lot of control. And second, it might sound much harsher than what you want to have. Now we'll do 3 reps with our left hand in a faster tempo. And afterwards, we'll continue with the right hand. All right, next step would be the right hand. Now for this technique, it's important to actually use your wrist and your elbow and the shoulder. You don't want to do everything out of your fingers only. That's going to add way too much tension and it's going to slow you down later as well. Meaning we try to do this kind of movement. I'll try to show it here. So try to go as low as possible with the wrist and turn your elbows outside to reach the next note. In the end, my technique for this part is to use my arm mainly to play this instead of the fingers. First of all, it's going to help me to stay relaxed, and the other thing is I'm just going to have much more control over the sound. Alright, now after practicing this for a while, I usually do this like 3 to 5 times for each hand to really get warm with it, and then I start to put it together in a very slow tempo. When we put both hands together, we always want to find a way to feel the connection between the hands. So it doesn't feel like we are playing both hands kind of separately, just simultaneously, if you get what I mean. So very often you'll find one hand giving the impulse to the other hand. And in this case, you see this as well. While the right hand has a rest, the left hand plays a chord, and this is giving the impulse for the right hand to continue. Try to feel this connection. Try to feel how the left hand is giving the impulse to the right hand through your body. You can also even exaggerate it a little bit for this exercise and play an accent on the chord in your left hand to really feel how this impulse is going into the right hand. Again, make sure that all the movements that we were discussing before for each hand are still there. If that tempo that I'm choosing here is too fast for you, please stop the video and play it much slower so you can make sure that every movement sits. Okay, now after practicing it very slow for a while, it's time to speed up. And what I like to do to speed up is to use different rhythms and groups that help me to speed up in between specific notes. we're going to turn around the rhythm. Same counts as before. Slow notes, relax. Fast notes, speeding up. Alright, the next exercise is going to increase the finger action because our fingers need to be able to leave the keys faster if we want to play in a faster tempo as well. Meaning we are going to do some staccato training, which I always like to do to increase the finger action. For staccato training, please make sure that you're not falling into the keys, but you're always jumping out of the keys. This is very important, otherwise you're doing more harm with this exercise than good. Next, I'm going to combine the staccato with a new rhythm. You can basically choose whatever rhythm you like to do. I just prefer these kind of rhythms for this specific passage, but you can be very free in choosing the rhythm. Just make sure that on the fast notes, you're having tension and you're speeding up, while on the slow notes, you are actually relaxing. That's the most important part. I'm going to put more faster notes in a group now, so we're getting used to faster playing. Again, we are turning around the rhythm. Make sure you're keeping the staccato close to the keyboard so you're not jumping into the keyboard. Also, try to remember we had an elbow and wrist movements in both hands. This we should always keep in mind. If the tempo is too fast, please choose a slower tempo. Okay, good job so far, if you've made it so far. I like to finish with metronome. I know this is a pretty boring thing for many people, but honestly, that's basic work, and Chopin forced his students to play everything with metronome. So if he considered it to be that important, probably we should do it too. And now we can start to use a little bit of pedal, but really just a little bit. And don't forget, you're playing the pedal with your ear and not with your foot, okay? So please don't use too much. It's so easy to use too much pedal. Alright guys, I hope you liked this video. I hope it kind of helped you to understand that technique and how to practice it properly. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions or if there is like a specific part that you would like me to cover. Otherwise, I'm just going to continue with the coda in upcoming videos since we have different types of techniques to cover here. Now in this video, I tried to keep all the exercises very general so it could fit anyone. However, of course, every hand is different. Everyone is playing on